Good morning, dear students. Today we shall discuss the errors and rectification of errors. In the last class, we have discussed about trial balance. In that, we have already came to know how to search the errors. An accountant generally commits some mistakes while recording the transactions, and those mistakes are errors can be rectified. How? We shall discuss in this class. Error. What is an error? An error is a mistake that is unknowingly or unintentionally committed by an accountant. That mistake may be of many types. Some mistakes, some errors are done at the stage of recording the transactions into the in the journal or in the subsidiary. Some mistakes done at the stage of posting those entries from journal to ledger, and some mistakes may be done at the time of recording those entries or balances in the trial balance, that is while preparing the trial balance. So these mistakes, if done unintentionally, then it is called as an error. Let us see the meaning. Error. An error is a mistake that an accountant unintentionally committed. They are unintentional mistakes. They are committed at the stage of recording or posting, at the stage of posting from journal to ledger, or at the time of balancing the ledger accounts, or at the time of preparation of trial balance. Next, types of errors. There are various types. Those types are classified as clerical errors and errors of principle. What are clerical errors? Clerical errors are errors of commission, errors of omission, compensating errors. These three types are coming under clerical errors. And one more type is there, that is errors of principle. What is errors of commission? Errors of commission means committing an error while recording the entry, or while totaling the accounts, or writing a wrong amount, or posting to a wrong account, or posting wrong amount, or posting to a wrong side in the trial balance. These errors are called as errors of commission. ಕ್ಲರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನೊಂದು ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗಿನ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಅನ್ಇಂಟೆನ್ಷನಲ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂತಹ ಅನ್ಇಂಟೆನ್ಷನಲ್ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಎರರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಷನಲ್ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್? ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಫ್ರಾಡ್. ವಿ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಫ್ರಾಡ್, ಅಬೌಟ್ ಎರರ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ಅನ್ಇಂಟೆನ್ಷನಲ್. ಸೊ ಆ ಎರರ್ಸನ್ನು ನಾವು 4 ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. 3 ಕ್ಲರಿಕಲ್ ಎರರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಗುರುತಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತವೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಎರರ್ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನುತ್ತೆ. ಕ್ಲರಿಕಲ್ ಎರರಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊದಲನೇದು ಎರರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್. ಎರರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ, ಅಥವಾ ರಾಂಗ್ ಅಮೌಂಟನ್ನು ಬರೆದಾಗ, ಅಥವಾ ರಾಂಗ್ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗಿಗೆ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ, ಅಥವಾ ರಾಂಗ್ ಅಮೌಂಟನ್ನು ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ, ಅಥವಾ ರಾಂಗ್ ಸೈಡಿನ ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸಿನ ರಾಂಗ್ ಸೈಡಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆದಾಗ ಅವುಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಎರರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಎರರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ ದೇ ಡು ನಾಟ್ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಎರರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್. ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸನ್ನು ಟ್ಯಾಲಿ ಆಗದೇ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಎರರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಇರಬಹುದು. ಅದು ಟ್ಯಾಲಿ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂದಾಗಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಕೆಲವೊಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಎರರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಇರಬಹುದು. ಅಂದರೆ ಎರರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ಗಳು ಕೆಲವೊಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ, ಇನ್ನು ಕೆಲವೊಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಎರರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಒಮಿಷನ್, ಒಮಿಟಿಂಗ್ an entry, omitting a transaction to be recorded in the books. That is called as errors of omission. There are two types, complete omission and partial omission. Complete omission means a complete transaction is omitted to be recorded in the journal or in the subsidiary. Partial omission means in the entry, the one entry or part of the entry missed to be posted in the ledger accounts. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಮಿಷನ್ ಅಂದಾಗ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗೋದು, ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗೋದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಎರರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಒಮಿಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸಾರಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ಗಳಾಗಿರ್ತವೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಜರ್ನಲಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಸಬ್ಸಿಡರಿ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ನೇ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಒಮಿಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅಥವಾ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪೋಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಅರ್ಧ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಇನ್ನು ಅರ್ಧ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಡೆಬಿಟಲ್ಲಿ ಸೈಡನ್ನು ಅಕೌಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟನ್ನು ಪೋಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದನ್ನು ಪಾರ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಒಮಿಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಎರರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಒಮಿಷನ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಒಮಿಷನ್, ಸೋಲ್ಡ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ₹1000. The transaction itself is omitted to be recorded in the journal. For partial omission, example, bought goods for cash ₹10,000. So this entry is entered in journal. While posting, we posted to the purchase account as to cash on the debit side, but while posting it to the cash account, we forgot to post it in the cash account. So that is called as partial omission. Then third type, compensating errors. So these are the errors which do not affect the trial balance, because here one error is compensating other error. One debit is compensated by another debit or another credit. So that is called as compensating error, or one error is set off by another error. That is called as compensating errors. For example, debit side is increased by 1000. That is an error. There is another debit which is decreased by 1000. That means one debit increased by 1000, another debit decreased by 1000. That both debits set off, they are compensating each other, which do not affect our trial balance, because the debit balance is not affected as one increase, one decrease. Or debit side of an account is increased by 1000. In another account, credit side is also increased by 1000. Means both sides show an increase of ₹1000. That means again one error is set off by another error, which do not affect our trial balance. Means our trial balance get tallies even we have committed 2 errors. That is called as compensating errors. Next type is errors of principle. As the name indicates, principle. While recording every transaction, we apply the rules of GAAP, generally accepted accounting principles. Those principles are applied for every transaction while recording the entries in the ledger, or while posting, or while preparing the financial statements. But when this principle is violating, then we can say that there is an error of principle. How? For example, repairs to machinery, major repairs to machinery. That is considered, actually that is to be considered as a capital expenditure, which is to be added to machinery value itself. Because of that major repair, machinery is updated, then it is taken as capital expenditure. But because of short of knowledge or something else, the accountant commits mistake as the repair to machinery is taken to repairs account. Means he treats it as revenue expenditure. Because of this, that revenue expenditure is taken to profit and loss account. Instead of taking it to the balance sheet, he takes it to the profit and loss account because he treats it as revenue expenditure. So, our profit and loss account is affected, our profit is affected, our true financial position is not exposed. So, this is called as errors of principle. One more example. Purchase of machinery. So, purchase of machinery is to be debited to machinery account. What is the entry? Machinery account data to cash account. But he commits a mistake there. What he writes? Purchases account data to cash. Instead of debiting the machinery, he debits the purchases account. So, that is called as principle of error or error of principle. So, violating the accounting principle, the amount is not affecting here. The amount will be same, but the rule is violated. That is why it affects our it does not affect our trial balance. So, after studying these types of errors, what we have to do? So, we have to rectify these errors. What is rectification of errors? Rectification of errors means correcting the errors. We have to correct those errors. ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ತಪ್ಪುಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ಗಳು ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಸರಿ. ಆ ತಪ್ಪುಗಳನ್ನು ಸರಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ, ಅದನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ? ರೆಕ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ಎರರ್ಸ್. ಫಾರ್ ದ ರೆಕ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫೈ ದ errors in two classification as rectification of errors which do not affect the trial balance and rectification of errors which do affect the trial balance. So, rectification of errors which do not affect the trial balance means even after committing these errors, our trial balance tallies. The debit side of the trial balance is equal to the credit side of the trial balance even after committing these mistakes. Those are called as two-sided errors because we committed mistakes on both the sides. That is why our trial balance is getting tally. The next, which do not affect the trial balance. There are some errors which do not affect the trial balance. Those are called as one-sided errors. Because of one-sided errors, because we did mistake on one side of any account, that is why our trial balance is not tallying. That is called as which do affect the trial balance. ಯಾವುಗಳು ಎರರ್ಗಳು ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವೋ ಅವುಗಳನ್ನು ಒನ್ ಸೈಡೆಡ್ ಎರರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಅವುಗಳು ಒಂದು ಸೈಡಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತವೆ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಟ್ಯಾಲಿ ಆಗಿರಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವುಗಳು ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ವೋ ಅವುಗಳನ್ನು ಟೂ ಸೈಡೆಡ್ ಎರರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಅವು ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟಿನ ಎರಡೂ ಸೈಡ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಸೈಡು, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಅಕೌಂಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಸೈಡು ತಪ್ಪಾಗಿರ್ತವೆ. ಎರಡೂ ಸೈಡಿನ ತಪ್ಪುಗಳಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸಿಗೆ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರಲ್ಲ, ಅವುಗಳನ್ನು ಟೂ ಸೈಡೆಡ್ ಎರರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಹೇಗೆ ರೆಕ್ಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡೋದು? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ದ ಎರರ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಡು ನಾಟ್ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ two-sided errors. Now we shall discuss about rectification of errors which do not affect the trial balance. Means our trial balance tallies. Also even after tallying the trial balance, there is a chance of committing some mistakes. How to rectify those mistakes? If we have omitted complete entry, that is for complete omission, how to rectify this error? Make fresh entry. Means if we omitted any transaction to be recorded in the journal, then what we have to do? Then it's simple. Which transaction is omitted? write an entry, a fresh entry for such a transaction. If purchase of goods worth rupees 10,000 for cash is omitted to be recorded in the books, then write a fresh entry for this transaction as purchases account data to cash account. This is about rectification of the error when there is complete omission. Next type, what we do? Undercasting means if the total of the debit side is less than actual, the total of credit side is less than actual, that is called as undercasting. If debit amount is decreased by some extent. For example, we bought goods of rupees 10,000, but it is recorded in the books as rupees 1,000 by mistake. What is the amount decreased here? We recorded rupees 9,000 less than actual. That is called as undercasting. Which side is decreased? In purchases. Purchase means both the sides. Purchases account data to cash account. Entry is same, but we written amount as 1,000. So the amount is changed. It is decreased. Then what we have to do? Undercasting. Write the correct entry. Once again, you have to write the correct entry. What is the entry? Purchases account data to cash account with short amount, with the amount rupees 9,000, because the short amount here is rupees 9,000. We bought for 10,000 but recorded as 1,000. Now we have to record 9,000 once again, so that to make the total 10,000. So what we have to do? Write the correct entry with short amount when there is undercasting. Next, overcasting. When we recorded the amount more than the actual. Sold goods for cash rupees 15,000, but we recorded in the books as 50,000. So that means here the amount is increased by rupees 35,000. Then what we have to do? Reverse the entry. We have to reverse the actual entry with excess amount, that is recorded in the books. So in the case of sold goods for rupees 15,000 is the actual, but what I have did? I written as sold goods for rupees 50,000 in the books, means cash account data to sales account rupees 50,000 I written. Now cash account is also overwritten, sales account is also overwritten. I have to cancel both by rupees 35,000. To cancel rupees 35,000, I have to reverse the entry. Sales account is to be debited, cash account is to be credited. So what is the entry? Sales account data to cash account. Amount is excess amount rupees 35,000. So this is the rectifying entry when there is overcasting. ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು 15,000ಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾರಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಏನು ಬರಿಬೇಕು ಹಾಗಾದರೆ? ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಟು ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ 15,000 ಬರಿಬೇಕು. ಬೈ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಅದು ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಟು ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ 50,000 ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ? 35,000 ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಹೇಗೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿದ್ನ? ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಟು ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಅಕೌಂಟನ್ನು ಈಗ ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಶ್. ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರಿಬೇಕು? ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು 35,000. ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಆ ಎರರ್ ಸರಿಯಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓವರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ವಿತ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್. ಅಂಡರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ವಿತ್ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್. ಅಮೌಂಟನ್ನು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಬರೆದಾಗ ಸರಿಯಾದ ಎಂಟ್ರಿನೇ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಸರಿ ಬರೋದು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಬರಿಬೇಕು. ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಬರೆದಾಗ ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಬರೋದು ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿರೋ ಅಮೌಂಟನ್ನು ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ rectification about wrong posting. ಪೋಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಅಕೌಂಟಿಗೆ ಪೋಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ರೀಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿನ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಇವೆಲ್ಲವಕ್ಕೂ ನಾವು ಜರ್ನಲ್ ಎಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ನೇ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಜರ್ನಲ್ ಎಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಟು ರೀಸ್ಟೋರ್ ದ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ, ರೈಟ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಆರ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್. ಮೊದಲು ಫಸ್ಟು ಯಾವುದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇದೆಯೋ ಅದನ್ನು ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು, ಅಥವಾ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ತಪ್ಪಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವುದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಇದೆಯೋ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ದೆನ್ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ರಾಂಗ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ. ಈಗ ತಪ್ಪಾಗಿರೋದನ್ನು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಫಸ್ಟು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದನ್ನು ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟು ತಪ್ಪಾಗಿರೋದನ್ನು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ತಪ್ಪಾಗಿರೋದನ್ನು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ದ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡೆಬಿಟೆಡ್ ದೆನ್ make it credit, if it is credited then debit it. That is called as reverse entry. To cancel, so we have to pass the journal entries, write the correct debit, and to cancel the entry, reverse entry, make the reverse entry. For example, for wrong posting, purchases of goods rupees 1000 is wrongly posted to sales account. Purchases of rupees 1000 is wrongly posted to sales account, posted through sales account. What is the right entry here? Here purchases is to be debited. But what we did here? We debited the sales account. Now rectify this error. Correct one is to be entered first. What is the correct one? Purchase account is to be debited. So debit the purchases account. Then next, sales account which is debited is a wrong entry. So to cancel this one, credit the entry. So what we have to do? Sales account is to be credited. So once sales is debited, now we are crediting the sales account. What is the effect? Sales account is cancelled. The entry is purchases account data to sales account. This is rectifying entry. Wrong posting. ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಬೈ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಬರೆಯೋದನ್ನು ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರಿ, ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋ ಸೇಲ್ಸನ್ನು ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ರೆಕ್ಟಿಫೈಯಿಂಗ್ ಜರ್ನಲ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಪರ್ಚೇಸಸ್ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಇದು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ರೈಟ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ, ಬಟ್ ವಿ ಡಿಡ್ ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್. ವಿ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಶ್. Here there is no mistake. Mistake is in the debit. Instead of purchase account, we debited sales account. Now what we have to do? We have to restore this purchase account, cancel this sales account. So restore means as it is to be debited, debit the purchase account. For the cancellation, reverse entry. Sales account is debited, reverse it, it is credited now to sales account. This is rectifying journal entry when there is wrong posting. Next, principal error. Same. In principal error also we do the same mistakes. So then we have to rectify in the same way. Restore the correct debit or correct credit. Cancel the wrong debit or credit by reversing the entry. So same effect in case of principal error also. This is about rectification of errors, for the errors which do not affect the trial balance. Now I am taking problem for 6 marks. Let us solve the problem. Let us take a problem. Problem will appear on the screen. Rectify the following errors. An amount of rupees 1000 spent on repairs to machinery has been debited to machinery account. An amount of rupees 2000 withdrawn by the proprietor has been debited to office expenses account. A sum of rupees 3000 received from Radha has been credited to Sudha's account. An amount paid towards salary of rupees 4000 has been debited to rent account. Extension to building rupees 50,000 has been debited to repairs account. Furniture purchased for rupees 10,000 has been debited to purchases account. This is 6 marks problem. 6 errors are given. You have to pass 6 journal entries for this problem. 1 journal entry for each error. Now take the first error. All these errors are which do not affect the trial balance, means for every error we have to pass the journal entry. Take the first one. An amount of rupees spent on repairs to machinery has been debited to machinery account. First we have to analyze the error. What is the error and how it could be rectified? 1000 on repairs to machinery is debited to machinery account. When we debit such repairs to machinery account, if the repair amount is big one, or if the repair amount makes the machinery updated, then we can add that amount to machinery. If small repairs and all, maintenance and all are treated as revenue, they are treated as repairs itself, they are treated as expenses but not assets. This is the error of principle when this repair is added to machinery, because the repairs to machinery is treated as capital expenditure in this error. Oh, what would be the journal entry? Actual entry would be repairs account debtor or repairs to machinery account debtor to cash account. Because repairs is an expense, debit the expense, we are paying cash, credit the cash. Repairs account debtor to cash account is the correct entry. So I am writing the correct entry here. Repairs account debtor to cash. What is the error here? It is debited to machinery account, means instead of repairs, machinery account is debited. Machinery account debtor to cash account. Instead of this entry, the accountant recorded this entry. What is the error here? Here in cash there are no errors, but the error is made in the machinery account. Now we have to record the actual or correct entry, then we have to cancel the wrong entry. This is wrong entry, this is correct entry. Correct entry is to be written correctly, wrong entry is to be corrected, means it is to be reversed, it is to be given reverse effect. So write the correct entry, it is to be debited, so debit the repairs account. Here I am writing the first rectification, rectifying entry, repairs account debtor, correct entry. Now take the wrong entry, machinery account, reverse it, it is to be credited, credit the machinery account to machinery account. What is the amount? Rupees 1000. So here machinery account which is debited is to be cancelled, so we credited the machinery account. Repairs account which is to be debited but not debited, now debiting the repairs account. In the narration, what we have to write? You can write the error which is given in the problem itself. Repairs to machinery debited to machinery account. Repairs to machinery account was debited to machinery now rectified. ಮಷಿನರಿಗೆ ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ದೀವಿ, 1,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಖರ್ಚಾಗಿದೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಯಿತು, ಅದನ್ನು ಏನಂತ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನಾವು? ರಿಪೇರ್ಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ರಿಪೇರ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮಷಿನರಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿಸಬೇಕು. ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ರಿಪೇರ್ಸು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆವಾಗ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಈ ರೀತಿ ನಾವು ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ಯಾವಾಗ ಸಣ್ಣ ಪುಟ್ಟ ರಿಪೇರ್ಸು, ಮೇಂಟೆನೆನ್ಸು, ಆಯಿಲು, ಸೊ ಈ ರೀತಿಯ ಸಣ್ಣ ಪುಟ್ಟ ರಿಪೇರ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಡೈಲಿ ಮೇಂಟೆನೆನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೋ ಆವಾಗ ಅದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ರಿಪೇರ್ಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಅಂತಲೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಯಾವಾಗ ನಾವು ಮಷಿನರಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿಸಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಚರ್, ಅಂದರೆ ಬಹಳ ದೊಡ್ಡ ರಿಪೇರ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಆ ರಿಪೇರಿಂದ ಮಷಿನರಿಯ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಯಿತು, ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಯಿತು ಅಥವಾ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಆಯಿತು ಮಷಿನರಿ ಅಂದಾಗ ಅಂತಹ ರಿಪೇರ್ಸನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಷಿನರಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿಸಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ರಿಪೇರ್ಸ್ ಟು ಮಷಿನರಿನ ತಪ್ಪಾಗಿ ಮಷಿನರಿಗೆ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರಂತೆ. ಮಷಿನರಿಗೆ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮಷಿನರಿ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಏನಾಗಬೇಕದು? ರಿಪೇರ್ಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. ಈಗ ಕ್ಯಾಶಲ್ಲಿ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಟಚ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬೇಡ. ತಪ್ಪಾಗಿರೋದೆಲ್ಲಿ? ಮಷಿನರಿ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಇದನ್ನು ತೆಗಿಬೇಕು. ರಿಪೇರ್ಸ್ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಇದನ್ನು ಹಾಕಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ರಿಪೇರ್ಸ್ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಆಗೋದನ್ನು ರಿಪೇರ್ಸ್ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರಿ. ಮಷಿನರಿ ತಪ್ಪಾಗಿದೆ, ಇದನ್ನು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಡೆಬಿಟನ್ನು ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರಿ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ರೆಕ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಷನ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ. Next error, an amount of rupees 2,000 withdrawn by the proprietor has been debited to office expenses account. An amount of rupees 2,000 withdrawn by the proprietor. Transaction. What is the transaction? Rupees 2,000 is withdrawn by the proprietor. Then when we withdraw goods for personal use, the entry is drawings account data to cash. This is the correct entry. But what the accountant did here? Has been debited to office expenses account. He debited the account office expense, means he written as office expense account data to cash account, which is wrong. The actual entry should be drawings account data to cash, but he debited office expenses account. So there is no wrong in cash account, leave it. Now actual debit is to be debited. The debit which is wrong is to be credited. Then the rectifying entry is drawings account data to office expenses account. ಅಂದರೆ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ವಿಡ್ರಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಪ್ರೊಪ್ರೈಟರ್ ಪರ್ಸ್ನಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ಗೆ, ಅವಾಗ ಅದು ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ನೋಡಿರಿ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ಎಂಟ್ರಿನ 2 ರೀತಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ರಿ. ಒಂದು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ಗೆ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ. ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಏನು? ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ rupees 2,000 ವಿಡ್ರಾನ್ ಬೈ ದ ಪ್ರೊಪ್ರೈಟರ್, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ವಿಡ್ರಾನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಪರ್ಸ್ನಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಅಂತ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದನೇ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಪು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಪಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವೇನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಹಾಗಾದರೆ? ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬೀನ್ ಡೆಬಿಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಆಫೀಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್. ಅವನು ಏನು ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ? ಆಫೀಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸನ್ನು ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಹೀಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿತ್ತು, ಬಟ್ ಅವ್ನು ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ಹೀಗೆ. ಇದು ತಪ್ಪು. ತಪ್ಪನ್ನು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇದು ಸರಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿರಿ ಫಸ್ಟು ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಡೇಟಾ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಮಾಡಿರಿ. ಆಫೀಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸ್ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರಿ. ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಟು ಆಫೀಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್. ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಟು ಆಫೀಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್. rupees 2,000. Narration. Withdrawn for personal use was recorded in office expense account, now rectified. The third error, a sum of rupees 3000 received from Radha. So I am dividing the whole sentence into two parts, one for transaction, another for error. The transaction is sum of amount rupees 3000 received from Radha. What is the entry? When I receive amount from some person, the entry is cash account debtor to, from whom I received? Radha, Radha's account. So cash received from Radha, this is the transaction and this is the entry for that transaction. But what is being done here? It has been credited to Sudha's account. See here, who is to be credited here? Radha's account is to be credited. Instead, what is done? Sudha's account is credited, means cash account debtor to Sudha's account. ಹೀಗೆ ಬರಿಬೇಕಿತ್ತು ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ, ಬಟ್ ತಪ್ಪಾಗಿ ಹೀಗೆ ಬರೆದುಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ನಾನು ಮೊದಲು ಬರೆದಿದ್ದು ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಇದು ಸರಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಹೀಗಾಗಬೇಕಿದು. ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಈ ಸುಧಾನ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ತಪ್ಪಾಗಿರೋದು ಸುಧಾನಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಸರಿಯಾಗಿರೋದು ಯಾವುದು? ರಾಧಾಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್, ಇದು ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಟು ರಾಧಾಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್. ರಾಧಾಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟೆಡ್, ರೈಟ್. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಡೆಬಿಟೆಡ್? ಕಮ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಹಿಯರ್ ಸುಧಾಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟೆಡ್. ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ, ಸುಧಾಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಡೆಬಿಟೆಡ್ ಟು ರೆಕ್ಟಿಫೈ ದಿಸ್ ಎರರ್. ಈ ಎರರನ್ನು ಸರಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಸುಧಾನ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋ ರಾಧಾ ಅಕೌಂಟನ್ನು ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Sudha's account debtor to Radha's account is the rectifying entry. Sudha's account debtor to Radha's account rupees 3000. Narration: cash received from Radha wrongly credited to Sudha's account, now rectified. ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನನ್ನು ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅದನ್ನು ನೋ ರೆಕ್ಟಿಫೈಡ್ ಅಂತ ಬರೀರಿ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗದೆ ಹೋದರೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಎರರ್, ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಒನ್, an amount paid towards salary of rupees 4000 has been debited to rent account. Divide this as two parts. The transaction is amount paid towards salary rupees 4000. What is the entry when we pay salary? Salaries account debtor to cash account. This is the transaction and this is the correct entry. But how it is written? Has been debited to rent account. Instead of debiting salary account, rent account is debited, means rent account debtor to cash account is the entry written in the books. This is the wrong entry. It should be written as salary. So write the right entry as correct, salary account debtor. Cancel the wrong debit. To cancel this debit, credit the rent account. Salary account debtor to rent account is the rectifying entry. Salary account data to rent account rupees 4,000. Narration: paid salary wrongly debited to rent account, now rectified. This is the fourth rectification entry. Next one, fifth one, extension to building rupees 50,000 has been debited to repairs account. See here, the transaction is extension to building. When we extend the building, it becomes our asset. Asset account is to be debited. Here asset is building, so buildings account data to cash account. When we construct the building, the entry is buildings account data to cash account. This is the entry for the transaction, correct entry. But what it is written in the books has been debited to repairs account. But a debit agide here, repairs account is debited, means repairs account data to cash agide. Okay, this is the wrong entry. This is the correct entry. Correct entry is to be given correct effect. Wrong entry is to be given reverse effect. Buildings account data, this debit is to be credited now to repairs account. Buildings account data to repairs account. Rupees 50,000. Repairs to building is wrongly debited to repairs account, now rectified. Now rectified. And the last error, furniture purchased for rupees 10,000 has been debited to purchases account. First take the transaction. Furniture purchased for rupees 10,000. What is the entry? Furniture account data to cash account. Correct entry because we are purchasing furniture. Furniture account data to cash account. How it is written in the books? Has been debited to purchases account. ಏನು ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ purchases account. Purchases account data to cash. This is the correct entry, but we have written in the books as purchases. Instead of furniture, we debited purchases account. Now rectify this one. How? Correct effect is to be given correct effect. Wrong entry is to be given reverse effect. Correct furniture account data. This one reverse. Debit ana credit ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ to purchases account. Furniture account data to purchases account. Rupees 10,000. Narration: purchase of furniture wrongly debited to purchases account, now rectified. This is rectifying journal entries when the errors do not affect the ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್. ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ನ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡದೇ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಏರರ್ಸ್ ಆದಾಗ ನಾವು ಹೇಗೆ ಜರ್ನಲ್ ಎಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ ಆ ಏರರ್ಸ್ನ ರೆಕ್ಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ 6 marks ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಆಸ್ಕ್ಡ್ 6 errors and you have to write 6 journal entries. This is called two-sided errors. For two-sided errors we write journal entries debiting one account, crediting another account. So in today's class we have discussed about the meaning of error, types of errors and rectification of errors, methods of rectifying the errors, and one problem on errors which do not affect the trial balance. In the next class we shall discuss some other problems. Thank you one and all.